Okay, good. Okay, so I'll be instructor for the QA class. If you have any questions, okay, just let me know. You may not able to hear audio properly. That's fine. I'll be sending you a better quality video. Okay, I'm sorry, the audio actually. Let me give you net here. Okay, so you know what? I'll be giving you better quality audio, so you don't have to worry if audio is not good. Okay, so just if you're able to hear, that's fine. It's good. Some people may not able to hear, so okay, don't worry about it. You can hear a better audio later. Okay, or you can also call me if you didn't understood some points. You can call me or email me. Just email me. Okay, we can schedule it some time, and we can go to which topics you didn't understood. Okay, sure. So let's get started. Okay, so did I mail you syllabus? Maybe I emailed you syllabus, right? Let's go to syllabus pretty quick here. Let me check. Oh, I didn't email the syllabus. Okay, never mind. I'll just email the syllabus. Okay, so you know what? So first two classes today and tomorrow, we'll go through this various types of testing. Okay, this is not only 22. We'll have more than this, but we'll just keep it short and simple, so that we'll just go to this various types of testing. So it's kind of introduction on what are the various testings we'll be using in our QA point of view. Okay. And then in the second class, just don't miss tomorrow's class. Tomorrow's class is very important. So that's how I'll be showing you how to test an application. Okay, how to test a web application. So here we'll discuss about only web application, not the client application. It is very much similar to web application. The only difference is a client application is installed in your system, and web application is whatever you access through browser, right? Any browser. It can be Internet Explorer, it can be Firefox, it can be Chrome, it can be Safari, it can be anything, any browser. It doesn't have to be any browser specific. Okay, so that's called web application. Web application is something which you access through browser. Okay, so tomorrow we'll go through it, an application, how to test an application, and how to open defects. Okay, that's a major So here's the thing, whenever you go to the projects, this is the very important thing to remember. You are hired to show that application is broken. So that's what your job is to, okay? You need to find out the defects. So we'll go this tomorrow. Some people will be also coming up by tomorrow. So, okay, so we'll have some time. Okay, so third and fourth class, we'll go through test management tool. So this is Rally. So here I will be giving you access to this Rally tool. Okay, everyone will be having access to this tool. Okay, let's check it out. This is working pretty quick here. Okay, tomorrow we'll be having this. Okay, I know I'll explain this. How to do this. So it's a test management tool where you will be writing your test cases, executing your test cases. What, you'll be opening defects and all these things you'll be doing in this tool. So this is a tool. Okay, tool for what? Tool for test management tool. Okay, so okay, good, we have that. So no worries, we'll work on that. So we'll go through this third and fourth class. That will be on 12th and 13th. Okay, and then we'll go to fifth class. We'll just I'll just change it to that because this is SharePoint. So what is SharePoint? SharePoint is something which you have, let's say you're preparing some documents, right? There's a lot of documents, there's a lot of documents, BRD document, test plan, test strategy, and so on. Now you need to share within your teams, right? You're working in teams, you're not alone, right? You need to share with the developer, share with the architect guy, share with the manager, share with the dev team, or some middleware team, or so that's the reason you need this SharePoint. So you'll be having this access. So here, what we are doing, we are using Confluence. We'll go through this and see how the thing works. Next, we'll go through documentations, various documentations. We'll go through most of the documents. If you know any other documents, let me know. I'll add to this. Okay. We'll go this documentation, and then we'll go to SDLC process. This is software development life cycle. So how so this is not a software. Okay, so this is not a software. This is something which is a framework. Okay, it's a framework how you proceed in your in the job, like how you work. Like it's a framework. This is not decided by any tester, or not by manager, or not by some developer. This is from management perspective. Okay, so this is it comes from high level saying, okay, so this is how it should be. You need to use agile, you need to use waterfall methodologies, all those things. We'll go through that SDLC process, and then we'll go through STLC, that software testing lifecycle. Okay, and this is more for a testing perspective. SDLC is more for a development perspective. Not really. I mean, we are in the process, right? So it's both, not just developer or tester specific. It's for everyone. STLC is more specific to testing perspective. And then we'll go to the bugs life cycle. So bug life cycle is something which you have opened a bug. So what you are supposed to do with that? Okay. So all these things we'll go through this, and then we'll go through the various types of methodologies. We'll just so I'm muting. Okay, I'm muting everyone because there's a disturbance, right? So if you have any questions, you can unmute and you can go ahead. Okay. The next class we'll go. I'll take whole class for agile. Agile. What is an agile? Agile is an iterative and incremental process. So what? This waterfall is slowly becoming an outdated, and now people are moving to agile. Why? Because you want fast. Client requires really fast. 6 month project, 1 month done. Okay. You don't want to prolong this long time, and client doesn't have enough funds to spend on employees, spend on projects, or whatever the reason. So that's the reason people want to move to agile. Okay, so we'll work on this the whole one class, and then we'll move to Jira. Okay, so again, Jira is another test management tool. Okay, same thing. I mean, Rally. What I'm saying, Rally is from different company. Jira is from different company. Rally is from CA Technologies. Jira is from Atlassian. Okay. But the same tool. The thing we do is same, but I'm just giving you the extra knowledge on this so that you will be having some understanding how the Jira tool works. Okay, then we'll work on HPALM, everyone's favorite. But this is Hewlett Packard Application Lifecycle Management is more used in waterfall methodology, but coming to Agile, it really becomes slowly outdated because this HPLM has a lot of issues. The reason being because it's more tedious work. You need to do a lot of redundant work, and we'll go through that. Okay, we'll go through this and how does this work. We'll talk on this 8th class. 9th class, we'll just go through QTP, just an introduction. Okay, just an introduction how we so let's say you're comfortable with all this manual process. Now we'll go to automation. So that's the QTP, quick test professional. Now this is no more QTP, there's UFT, unified functional testing. So we'll just have this functionality and features ready so that if there's an automation requirement or Selenium, you can just go ahead and you can work on that. It's not a big deal. Manual automation is a one step extra level, and you can certainly do it if you have some knowledge on that. Okay, and then 10th class we'll just go on different soft. What we'll just work on this certifications. These are the free certifications. I would say you can go ahead and look into the certifications, and you can get a certification, and this is free. You don't have to pay a penny. Of course, you need to pay internet though. Except that you're not you don't have to pay, and you can get a certification. So we'll talk on this later. Okay, so this is the syllabus for what. So maybe I have not sent, right. Let me make sure again. Okay, so there's only 2 emails. Yeah, I think I didn't send that email. So this class is for 1 hour daily and lasts for 2 weeks. So today it started, so it ends by 21st, right? 21st, yeah. And 1 hour each. So that's around 10 hours. Okay. Okay, so any questions so far? So oops. Yeah, the people who cannot, let me write it down, okay? Okay, and meanwhile, you know, so, because some people can hear properly, um, yes, you guys will be getting this video, and as I told you, right, some people cannot hear. For them, I'll be giving you better audio quality and all that. I'll be sending, so no big deal. Okay, so this is the email. Okay, so you'll be getting better audio. So don't worry about it. Okay, if you cannot hear, that's okay. You'll be getting regular emails. Okay, and of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me through email or through call. I mean, if I'm not available on the phone, you can reach me out through email. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I will speak a little louder if people can hear. Okay, so there's a little bit issues with this. Okay, there's some this is like they have some really bandwidth that needs to be required. Okay, great. So please send me an email because I cannot keep writing here, but this time I'll do it. Okay, so please send me an email. Okay, email to manu@itamerica.com. Okay, I cannot write it here. Okay, so let's get started. So there are various types of testing. Okay, so there are various types of testing. Here we'll consider a few of the testing. So let's start here. Black box testing. Okay, there's something called black box testing. So what is this black box testing? Okay, now this black box testing is a high level testing. Okay, let me tell you beforehand. Okay, the black box testing is called high level testing. Now, okay, now this requires more than one people. Okay, not just your boss comes says, okay, did you complete your black box testing? So now you cannot say no, I didn't complete or something. No, you need to say that yes. So black box testing is a high level testing and is done by the team level, not by the individual. Okay. Why? Because it has sub-levels. Okay, black box testing consists of system testing, there's functional testing, integration testing. All these testings are completed, then you say that black box testing is done. Okay, you cannot just say black box testing, yeah, I've done black box testing. No, that doesn't happen individual level. It's a team level. Okay, it's a team perspective. Okay, so here what we do is it's a high-level testing. Okay, done by the team. Okay, and here what you do is when testing is based on the requirements and functionality. Okay, so requirements. So what is the requirements? You might have a document. Okay, or it can be word to mouth. Somebody said, okay, this is the application, this is how it should look like. That's fine, but there's supposed to be a document because everybody is supposed to know, right? Your boss has to know what the document is. Your business analyst, a lot of people will be working on, not one or two people. Okay, so that's the reason you document this. Okay, and functionality. We'll go through this functionality. Okay, So I'm just trying to explain the functionality feature here. Okay. So if you already know, some people say like I already know. Okay. So if you know, that's good, but not all people know, right? So you guys are from different backgrounds. So I explain in a little bit more in detail level. So if you guys know, that's good. Okay. If you don't, you can see what I'm trying to say. Okay. So that's what I mean. Okay. Some people said like I already know Google.com. So I'm not saying like you don't know. I'm saying like what you're trying to do when you test an application. Okay. So that's what more important. Okay. So let's say black box testing. So black box testing is again okay. Um, it's a high level testing done by the testers. Okay. It's done by the testers, not by the programmers, and it's done by the team level, not individual level. Okay. So let's see here, what is the functionality? Here, just giving an example here. Okay, so I'm just taking an example here, google.com, and here it's a functionality where you check each and every functionality. So the functionality can be anything. Okay, okay. Functionality can be anything here. It can be this edit box. It can be this images. Okay, and it can be this URLs. Okay, so these are the or this app button, if you want to search this, so this is called functionality. Okay, this URLs, these are the URLs, and so this is functionality. So it can be anything. This URL, it's a functionality. This image, that's a functionality. So all this, what you see in the browser, technically what you see in the browser is all is a functionality, not just google.com. I'm not saying just google.com. It's just a functionality. Okay, so that's what it means by functionality. Okay, it can be any button. It doesn't have to be just a button. It can be edit box, text box. Okay, it can be it can be anything on a web page. Okay, whenever you open this browser, okay, the functionality can be any part of the web page. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, by functionality. Requirements is what it said in the requirements, right? It is a document. It's a document. I mean, it don't have to be always a document. It can be a word of mouth. Somebody said, okay, so this is how it should look like, all those things. But it is better to have documents so everybody knows it. Okay, so that's what it means by requirements. Okay, requirements is something which business wants, right? It's a business requirement that this is how it should be there. And if it's that, then you have to test it. Okay, so yeah, I know some people cannot hear, so you know what? Um, so I'll just type this message. Okay, okay, so that's called black box testing. Okay, so what is black box testing? It's a high level testing done by the testers and not by the programmers, and it's a team level, not individual level. Okay, that's called black box testing. Now let's go to the next topic. Yeah, I know some people can hear properly and some not. I understand that. Okay. Okay, so people who have internet issues, Okay, so look at your email ID. Okay, you know what? See here you can, some. So again, I'm telling, like, some people can hear and some people not. So the people who cannot hear, okay, can once check with your HR manager so they can set up something for you. Okay, some VPN or something like that. But some people can hear. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. 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 So let's go to the white box testing. Okay, so black box testing is done by the testers and white box testing is done by the programmers. Okay, now this is again, it's a high level testing. Okay, it's a high level testing done by the programmers. Why? Because you have to know the internal logic of an application. Okay, you need to know the internal logic of an application. So let's quickly check once how. Let's say this is a, you know what, we'll just go to, okay, google.com, and you know what, I want to check, um okay, this is so this is the limit. Okay, so here this is the code. Okay, so this is the code of an application, web application. So I'm worrying about, this is a front end, this is the front end part which you see google.com. Now this is not exactly back end, this is web application code. Okay, so here this is all the code for this, web page. You see this. So this is called what? Okay, this is not exactly called white box testing, but this is what the programmer does. You know, you know what I mean. So this is what programmer does. He looks into this code. Okay, he sees, okay, where the exact the issue is. He looks into the issue, and if there is any issues, he will check. He will edit that code, and he will put the new code and check it out. Okay, so this is called okay, not exactly white box, because white box has 3-4 levels. Okay, it has unit testing, again it has SIT, system integration testing, all those things, all those included is called white box testing. So this is, I'm giving an example what does this developer does. Okay, so this is how it checks the code. The code is in google.com, the code here. Okay, here if they check it here, they look into the code, if the code is good or not. Okay, so that's what it does. So that's what I mean, the internal logic of an application code. That's what it means by internal logic of an application code. So that's called white box testing. Okay, so that's what it means by white box testing. Okay, testing based on the internal logic of an application's code. This is also called as glass box testing. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, the people who can hear, any questions? And the people, let me ping too. Okay, so people who cannot hear properly can go through this. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I know this has been from long, so I'm trying to find out some alternative for this. Okay, so I'll be giving you better audio quality video at the end. So people who cannot hear or disruptive, they can get a good quality, and they can email me if there are any questions. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, good. The thing is resolved. Okay, I'm glad. Okay. Okay. Now any questions? Any questions so far in black box testing and white box testing? So this is the first class. I know it's not. It will be a little bit. first time, right? You think that I'm a little fast, that's fine. Okay, we'll go a little bit slowly, but that will take a little time. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead. You can either unmute here, okay, and you can talk, or if you want to ping, that's also fine. I mean, I better go ahead and unmute here, okay, and go ahead with the talking, because it's better with conversation through voice than being pinging here, right? Pinging, that doesn't help too much, because I may not understand something, you might say something. So okay, so let's go to the next one. Unit testing. Again, this unit testing is done by the programmer, okay, not by the tester. Okay, unit testing is done by the programmer. Oops, this is on. Yes, okay. Okay, unit testing. Here what you do is, it's again job of a developer, not a tester. So this is done by the developer. So to testing individual software components or modules, okay, and done by the programmer, not the testers. Here you see this. So unit testing is something. Okay, so you have a lot of things here. If you see this, so this is you think this Google.com is very simple. Okay, you think it's very simple, but here there are integration of many other languages. Okay, it can be Java, it can be JavaScript, Ajax, so on. Okay, so there's a lot of things here. Okay, so you want to go each and every module to do this, so that's called to unit testing. Each unit, right? Each unit you want to see. Okay, that's called unit testing. Right, so these are so many, and a lot of developers will be working, not one or two. Okay, there's a web developer, there's a Java developer, and they want HTML developer, they want JavaScript developer, and so on and so forth. But here the one guy who is responsible for the testing will be testing it, so that's called unit testing. Okay, simple one unit of this application code is called unit testing. Okay, and it's done by the programmer. Okay, that's called unit testing. Okay, somebody asked a question, right? Will you be able to send the videos? Yes, I'll be sending, videos through email. And people who don't get an email by 4 p.m., okay, I'll be sending before that. 4 p.m. EST, can send me an email, okay, to my email ID is manu@itamerica.com. Not here, not now, because I cannot, you cannot put email IDs here. So send me an email so that, I'll be having the accurate email ID, okay? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Incremental integration. Before that, we'll just go to next. Okay, good. We'll go to functional testing. Okay, so first we'll talk about this functional testing. So this is what you'll be doing in your job. Okay, so this is what you'll be doing in your work. So what is this functional testing? So this, this functional testing is to test and, functional testing is to test an application functionality. Okay, functionality and features based on the requirements. You want to compare. Normally, it's like comparing. Okay, it's most of the time I take it as a comparing. What comparing means, it's you are comparing the document. You have this documented either some information written there, or screenshot, or whatever the information there, screenshot. I will see the screenshot, how the application is and how this application is responding. So that's called functional testing. You want to test because you don't know what the application should look like. And who's supposed to tell you? Business analyst. Business analyst is supposed to tell you, but they're not going to tell you. Why will they tell you? They will document it, okay, so that they will not have time to talk to you. They will just put it, document it, and you have to look into it. Okay, so that's called functional testing. So what is functional testing? To test the functionality and features of an application is called functional testing, right? So, okay, so we'll close this. This is not our job. It's a developer. Web developer does that. Okay. So here, this is our job. So you know what? We will be testing all these features and these functionalities. We want to test each and every functionality from here. Okay, okay, let's show you here. Let's go to a little bit more better website, Amazon.com. Okay, so here now this is a complicated. So you know Google. Okay, you say okay, I know Google, no big deal. Now this is a more complex application. Why complex? Because here the images are integrated with URLs. You see this? This is the image, right? When you click this, the cursor is changing. The hand cursor. You see this? So that means it's an URL which navigates the next page. So all this, all these pages are integrated with URLs and web pages. A lot more stuff than it is. Okay. It also integrated with a lot of third-party URLs. You see this third-party. You know So this is completely different. It's not related to Amazon. Okay, so all this and in a lot of options, lot of buttons, okay, a lot of things in this web application. So this to test all this is called functional testing. Okay, does anyone have any question on functional testing? Functional testing is to test functionality and features of an application based on requirements. Okay, based on the requirements. And what is functionality? So functionality can be anything. Functionality can be an edit box, text box, radio buttons, okay, web page, whole web page. It might be a functionality. Okay, images, toolbars, edit bars, okay, everything. Okay, everything whatever is displayed on the web page, and not just web page. If you are working on client application, then it's everything what is there in the client application, right? So that is called functional testing. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Any questions so far? Functional testing. Now, this functional testing is actually part in the black box testing. We talked about this black box, right? Remember we talked about this black box. This is actually it's actually black box contains 2 or 3 levels of testing. Okay, it contains functional, contains regression. If all these testings are done, then that means you have done black box testing. So no one can tell you, and you know what your boss tells you. Your boss confuses you a lot. They will ask you, okay, have you done your black box testing? Now you need to be very clever in answering that question. Okay, so have you done black box testing? Now you need to understand to your boss saying that black box testing is a high level testing done at the team level, not an individual level. So black box testing contains 2 or 3 levels. That's functional testing, integration testing. Then that's called so as the individual level, we cannot say, but as a team level, yes, we can work on black box testing. Okay, that's what you need to answer when your boss asks. Because your boss knows but confuses you to know that you know or not. Okay, so that's what you need to remember. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Sorry, the next one. Okay, we're done with unit testing. Okay, let's go to the integration testing here. Okay. Pretty quick integration testing. So here, you know what? Let me ask you a question. Here, we have less time here. We'll just have 30 minutes here. But let me ask you a question. Since you know what is functional testing, since you guys are not asking any question, let me ask you a question. So as you know, everything is a functionality here. So let's say I want to test this application, right? I know there's a lot of things to test, but here I'm trying to test an application. When I hover my mouse here on the departments and I move this mouse, did anyone see some change? Can anyone answer? Have you guys seen some change here on the application functionality? So I'm just hovering my mouse over this department section in the Amazon.com. Okay, so let's say this is an application, and oops, no animations. Okay, let's not do this. Okay. Okay, screen changing. Screen changing. We have to be more specific on that. Okay, any more people? Cursor change to hand cursor. Okay, great. Blur. List of departments. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Any more? Integrations, integrated function. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, that's good. I mean, some people answer good, and this is your first class and it's good. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing what I want to tell you. Okay, so this might be a little bit not so, you will be just, coming into QA, so it will be a little bit more you need to understand. So when I hover my mouse over this department section, you see this, right? Now, the screen brightness at the background is switched off. You see this, the brightness of the screen. So that is also a functionality from Amazon. Okay, now who does that? That's a business analyst. Now that's what the business wants. Now what the business wants is whenever you hover your mouse to this department section, that's the brightness of the screen and the background is switched off. Now that's that's a very interesting functionality. Okay, that's what the business analyst want, and you need to test that. Now you don't know that is it supposed to switch off or switch on. How am I supposed to know? That's where you need to refer document. If no documents, talk to business analyst, talk to the lead. First, you need to check with the lead, not directly to business analyst, because you may not just directly go and hey, this is coming up. No, you cannot do that. First, you need to check with lead saying that, hey, I know what, whenever I'm holding this mouse over this department section, the background of this brightness is changing, it's becoming dim. Is it the requirement or is it a bug? Right? So, that's a functionality. Okay, you guys did good. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. Integration testing. Okay, let's go to the integration testing. So, you know what? That's pretty quick. So again, there will be a lot of developers will be working on, not just one developer, two developer. Okay, you will be having a lot of developer, Java developer, HTML developer, web developer, Ajax developer, so on and so forth. Okay. So here everyone has their own part of job they are doing. Okay, so they will integrate all part of code into one. Okay, they will be integrating. So integration, right? To a lot of modules putting together at one is called integration. Okay, so now you need to test after integration. Why do you want to test? Because you want to make sure after integrating that module the code doesn't break. Okay, you might just put integration, okay, no big deal, I just put URL and this, it's done. No, that doesn't work because that might be old code. This is a new code. The code doesn't match together. The system might break. The code might break and the functionality may not work properly. So that's the reason you need this integration testing. Okay, so let's take an example here. Let's say I'm this google.com here and I want to click on apps. Now you see this lot of apps here. So that's called integration part. And you need to test each and every part here so that you want to make sure integration testing is done. Okay. So these are all apps integrated into just one. You see this, all these are integrated in one. And I want to see more. I can see more here. Okay, there's 10, 20 of them. I can see a lot of apps. So they have integrated all those modules into one. So one google.com. And you can see YouTube, Google Drive, My Account, patents, and all those things you can see just in one, one app. So that's called integration. Okay, so let's go to a definition here. Testing of integrated modules to verify combined functionality after integration. Okay, you want to test the integrated modules. Okay, just like Google has integrated all these modules here, and you want to test all the modules. Is this module working or not? So that's called integration testing. Okay. It can go pretty more complicated than this, but this is layman terms to understand. Okay, what is integration testing? Okay. Okay, let's go to the next topic very quick. So you have one more like incremental integration testing. Okay, so incremental integration testing is like you keep up. It's the name itself, right? Incremental. This is not like There's nothing called decremental integration. There's only incremental. Okay, incremental means keep on increasing one after the other. So let's see here. So integration testing, right? Incremental means we have like some of the apps here. You want more, just you click on this more button. You see this more, click on, okay, you got more. Now this is what incremental. That means there are some apps here now they have increased to more 8 apps. Okay, more 8 apps. Now you want more. No, you want more. So you click on this even more. Okay. Okay, so that changed a lot of things here. So okay, so you get a lot of everything in one. You see this? This is called incremental integration. That means they keep on adding new apps. You keep on testing that. Okay, so that's called incremental integration. You see this lot of apps. They have integrated into one. Okay, they keep on adding. They keep on adding. You keep on testing. Okay, so that's called incremental integration. Okay, now let's go back to definition here. So bottom-up approach for testing, okay, continuous testing of an application as a new feature, new functionality is added is called incremental integration testing. And this can be done both programmers or testers. Okay, I mean both have, the programmers test their own way. Okay, now we'll talk about this. Okay, the programmers they do the different testing. Testers do the different testing. We talk about this. Okay, but they have to do all their own part of their job. Okay, so that's called incremental integration testing. Any questions so far? We have 15 more minutes. Let's go pretty quick here. Okay, so let's go to system testing. Now this system testing is a little different. So far we were talking about web applications. You see, these are all web applications. Okay, what is a web application? Any application which you are trying to access through browser. Might be Google Chrome, it can be Firefox, it can be Internet Explorer, it can be Microsoft Edge, it can be Safari, it can be Maxton, so on and so forth. Okay, a lot of browsers. You don't have to use any specific browser. Any browser you want to see and you want to test that. That browser is called web application. In anything you're accessing to browser. Now, system testing. This thing gets a little more specific on client application. Okay, system testing is normally done on a system. That's let's say you install some application. Okay, an application like any application. Let's say this Outlook. So Outlook is installed in the system, right? So now this has some. You see this. These are also functionalities. Okay, this is also functionality. This is also feature of an application, and you want to test each and everything. That's called client application because it's already installed in your system, and you want to test that. Okay, but here let's go back to our definition. Entire system is tested as per the requirements. Okay, system testing is something it's entire, because whenever you install an application, a lot of things happen. Okay, DLL files get updated, new applications get added, registry keys gets updated, a lot of things happen. So you want to test not everything whatever in your system, but everything based on requirements. What does the requirement say? What you are trying to test is called system testing. Entire system is tested as per the requirements. That's called system testing. Okay, and okay, again, black box is the system testing is a part of the black box. Again, just trying to remind you that system testing is a part in the black box. As I told you, black box is a high level testing which you have a lot of 2 or 3 sub levels. Okay, that's called system testing. Okay, let's go to the next one. End-to-end testing. Okay, let's be here a little bit more specific on QA point of view. So I know I'm giving more on QA point of view, not ETL point of view. So ETL, so end-to-end testing. So end-to-end testing means from one end to other end. So that's called end-to-end testing. Okay. Now this includes all of the testing. What is there? Whatever we have discussed. Okay. No, just everything. Okay. Even which is which we have a lot of testing. Right. This all included is called end-to-end testing. That means from one end to other end is called end-to-end testing. Which includes functional testing, performance testing, stress testing, load testing, everything, okay, as a QA point of view. But if you're going as an ETL point of view, end-to-end testing includes not even just QA, but ETL point of view, source testing, stage testing, jobs testing, okay, and then you have target testing, map testing, document testing, a lot of things there, okay. We don't want to make it complicated. We just, want to just as a QA point of view, we want to use end-to-end testing means from one end to other end. And what's one end? That starts from smoke testing, sanity testing, okay, functional testing, integrated testing, and so on. Okay, so that's called end-to-end testing. Okay, so any questions? That's a very good question. End-to-end testing is a part of this black box testing. Here it doesn't say, right? I would say no. Okay, no, but let me get back to your question. Okay, normally it's no, because end-to-end testing is a little bit different, because it's it's a different from black box testing. Okay, black box is a set of testing, and it includes like 3 to 4. Okay, not everything, but end-to-end is like almost everything, which covers from beginning to end. Okay, so that's the reason black box testing is completely a little bit different, different thing than just end-to-end testing. Okay, if it say here, then you might take it like just like system testing, right? But here, no. Okay, so let's go to the next. Okay, sanity testing. Okay, before going to sanity testing, we'll talk about the smoke testing. Here, it's not there here, but it just I'm just trying to say. Okay, smoke testing. So, what is the smoke testing? Smoke testing. Let's say you have an application. Let's say you have this application. Now you want to perform a smoke testing. Okay, let me define what is smoke testing. Smoke testing, is something which you want to, okay, you want to make sure is it application testable or not. Okay, why? Because you want to perform a lot of testing here. Okay, you're going functional testing, you're going integration testing, you're doing a lot of testing, but you want to make sure is it testable or not. Okay, that's called smoke testing. Smoke testing is that application testable or not, because to move forward you want to see is it really testable or is it like completely useless. Okay, there are applications that you cannot even perform testing. Okay, so that's why you want to see this. And smoke testing, so the difference between functional testing and smoke testing is functional testing you write test cases, smoke testing you don't have test cases. Okay, that's the major difference in smoke testing. And smoke testing you complete in just 1 or 2 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, done. Functional testing you require some time. Okay, 1 day, 2 day. I mean, when I was waterfall 1 week, but now this 1 week is really not a good time. Maybe 2 days. That's 2 days, 3 days at max. That's it, done. But smoke testing is in hours. Okay, just 2 hours, 3 hours, just. So what do you exactly do this? Smoke testing. You just do random testing. Okay, now you have all this application ready, you know what is functionality, you know what is features, you just want to try to click here. Okay, that's working, that's good. I want to click here, is there any bug? Okay, there's no bug. Okay, good. This, okay, this, no, this application is good, now you can perform functional testing. Now if you find bug in smoke testing, that means the build is failed. Okay, and we'll talk about this build. Okay, yeah, I'm supposed to talk about this. Okay, but you want to inform developer saying that, hey, you know what, the smoke testing is failed, we cannot perform any more testing because we need to give a good application, not this application which has a lot of bugs. We cannot proceed with functional testing, we cannot proceed with integration because this is not testable, right? This is, we want something which is testable, which has less bugs, so that it can go higher level. If it fails in first level, now we cannot do anything else, right? So that's the reason you need this smoke testing. Okay, so let's talk about this. Actually, I forgot to explain this. So you have this three environments. Okay, there are three environments where you work. One is dev environment, that's called developer environment. Developer codes, developer does this coding and all this checks in codes, and a lot of things happen in dev environment. They have their own environment, own server. Okay, you can take it as own server. Don't have to be different environment. Server, take it as different server. Now you have second is test environment. Okay, let's take different server test. Test environment where you do all your testing as a tester. Okay, and then third you have this production environment. Production environment is nobody have access to this. The developer has access to developer environment, not any other environment. Tester has its tester environment, not any other environment. Production people, they have their own team production. They have only access to production, and they're not going to change anything in production unless specified by the management. Okay, well, a lot of people in the email chain, 20 to 30 people, and all management people, then they are going to do the work. Okay? Otherwise, nobody is going to bother if there's an issue in production. Okay, so that's three environments, right? Now, what happens when the developer codes and checks in the code into the dev environment? It has to pass through that. Once it goes, now the code will be pushed to test environment. Okay, now there are builds. To do that, there is a build. That means there's a different team. Now, no developer does that job, because developer has its own job to do. Now, there's kind of middleware team who does this work. What work? To move that code from dev environment to test, from test environment to production. There can be n number of environments. I'm just, for the sake of convenience, we're just taking three environments. Okay. So this movement part, right? You have to coordinate a lot of with the middleware team. Now those are called builds. Okay. Now this build 1, build 2, build 3. Okay, they keep checking the code, move the code into test environment. You found a bug, they come up with new build. They fix the bug. You again found a bug. Again they go. So that the cycle goes on. Okay. So those are things that you need to remember when you're testing. Okay. So let's go to the next topic. That's sanity testing. Now, in the sanity testing, right? Now they come up with a new version. Okay, so sanity testing is like same application, different version. Okay, so let's say, let's take an example of Firefox. Okay, now you have this Firefox, right? Now let's check it out, its version. Okay, now version is 54.0.1. Okay, now that means they have some, they found some bugs, they added new features, they added new functionalities, and they came up with 54, not just 54 times, it might be more than that, but this is a version. So when you test this browser 53rd, and then you test this 54, then you want to see, that's called sanity testing. That means you are performing on various versions of that same application. The Firefox is the same application. Okay, this is the same browser, and you want to check different versions of this Firefox and see that that application is good, that version is good, or this version is good, new build is good, or the old build is good. Okay, so that's called sanity testing. Okay, so let's go back here. So here, testing, to determine new software version is performing well to accept major testing effort. Okay, you want to see that because developer has come up with a new version, saying, okay, why don't you test with the new version? So that's called sanity testing, because you already tested that, and you want to see this new version is working well or not. Okay. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, so let's go to the next topic. We talk about this regression testing. Now, all this we were doing manually. You understand manually, right? Just open the browser, start testing. You look, you just use. Okay, sometimes most of the time common sense. Okay, we just common sense. Okay, this is a bug. This is a feature. Okay, this is the functionality, and sometimes also we use documents. Okay, is this really feature? Is it matches the requirements? Does the requirement shows this document, or they have some information about this? Okay, all this we have done all this manually. This, okay, we didn't see anything automated here. But here in this regression testing, we have to test an application. Okay, um, so once you have done this integration testing, you have done incremental integration, all this testing is done, you need to do the regression testing. Now this here you use a tool called uh, QTP, like as QTP, Quick Test Professional, or UFT or Selenium, to automate your test cases. Okay. Now you can say that, hey, why not we start with automation? Why we are doing this manual? So not all things can be automated. You need to do this manual first. Okay. Before proceeding this automation, because you cannot just directly start with automation. Okay. That is called regression testing. Okay. So let me ask you a question here. Okay. Now, what happens, right? Um, let's say you have done your testing, okay? You have completed your testing, you have signed off, okay? And the developer said, oh, he missed some code there and he added some code, okay, in the application. Okay, we don't know. We have done only front end testing. We don't know what changes in the code, and because of that code, what application gets screwed up because of that code, we don't know. Okay, and now that guy is doing something and he added some code, and he suddenly stopped by at your desk, right? He stopped at the desk. He explained something. Okay, you know what? I changed the code. We have a totally different code, and we are putting this. Why don't you start testing? So can you answer that? What is the what do you want to answer for this? The development guy, the developer, he did something. Okay, he changed the code, and he stopped by at your desk suddenly and said, "Hey, you know what? I've changed the code. Can you start testing?" So can you guys tell me what will be your response on this? Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Yeah, you need to be proactive, guys. Yeah, if someone is typing, right, you also need to start typing, because either you can, unmute and say, or you can ping, okay, whatever, however convenient for you. But you need to be proactive, because these questions will be in your projects too, okay? So you need to be really, answering them. Yes, no, not sure, something, okay? Okay, so you know what? So I will be like, are you kidding me? Why? Because I've done my testing. I've done my testing, and you know what? I've signed off, and in 2 weeks it's going into production. And now, you know, right? Okay, no, somebody got this point. Yeah, we'll do regression testing. That's right. Okay, so you know what? You kidding me? I've done my testing. We are not going to do retesting. We are not doing double testing here. Okay, we are not doing redundant work here. We have done it. We have signed off. We are done. Now, okay. So what you want to do is, why don't we check with the lead? You know what? We'll check with the lead how our lead's response is. Okay, and you know what? You say 2 weeks is going to production, and you're telling me now that you have changed some code at this point of time. You want me to test here. This is a 1 week application to be tested. We don't have resources. We don't have time. We cannot do double testing. We cannot retest the same thing again and again. We have other work to do, right? So we cannot do this. So what we can do is we have another team called regression team. They will look after it if there are any issues with the application, right? So, okay, you might not want to say this directly to the developer. Once you get experience with the lead, you want to say this, but you want to check with the lead. You say that, hey, let's talk about this about the lead. Why don't we talk? Let's talk to the lead. Let's set up a meeting, and you go ahead and talk to the lead, saying that, hey, this guy changed some code, and he wants to test this application again. But since we don't have time, in 2 weeks this is going to production, and next week this application is to be, it should be done. And well, we have already done testing. We have signed off. Now as a QA, we are done. So what is your approach on this? You need to check with the lead, because lead is experienced guy. Okay, and he'll be knowing, he'll be having some better idea on this and how to do that. So he'll be giving you some answer on this. But that's why we have this regression testing. Normally it's not, what I've got, like maybe 8 projects, 8 companies. I've worked for 8 companies. These people have some bad habit of doing, when they're testing, they're not supposed to change the code. Right. So that's also a reason. You have sometimes you move into the environment, that can be also an issue. Okay. So that should be also be tested. Okay. Okay. So what, they keep changing the code. Once it's in a test environment, they're not supposed to touch the code, right? Developers are not supposed to touch the code. They keep still doing it. They keep changing the code. The new builds come up, and suddenly the whole application gets crashed, and suddenly need to, sometimes it becomes critical issue, and it becomes, big stuff. So, but not all companies follow this. Some companies really follow strict rules. They put, okay, once it got in test environment, you should not touch the code. That's it. But most of companies don't do that. They don't know about this. So now that's the reason, you can give an answer to them saying that, hey, why don't we go into regression testing? So that. Yeah, somebody said, right? Yeah, it might be issues because of the environment that also should be tested. So there might be issues too. Okay. Okay, good. So we'll stop here. It's already, 11:45. Okay. We stop here in regression testing, and here again, to reiterate the regression testing. Regression testing is to automate the test cases. Okay. So automate the test cases. Use a tool called QTP or Selenium or Loader or so on. There's a lot of tools here. Okay, you'll be using that to do your same testing. I mean, same testing, but you're using a tool to automate this. Okay, so that's what is called load testing. I'm sorry, regression testing. Okay, people who want to, okay, please send me an email. Whoever, I don't have a lot of email ID. I didn't get maybe I'll keep getting email ID. So if I get, that's good. If you guys don't get an email by end of the today, that's like 4 p.m. EST, send me an email at manu@itamerica.com, so that I'll be sending you not only just recording, but you'll be getting a lot of materials from me. um, you know, so you'll be in better shape once you completely do it. Okay. Okay. Any questions? So we'll complete this tomorrow pretty quick, and we'll go to we completed really good this time. Okay. Any questions on this? Yes, you will be getting same recording. Okay, and also you'll be getting a better audio quality if people guys who are not able to hear, right? They'll be getting a better audio quality. Okay, but it's same thing. Okay, you'll be getting the same. Also, I'll be sending you the slides. Whoever is interested, and I also have this book, right? QA, software called. You don't have to read this, but as a formality, I'm just sending you, like, if you guys are interested, really, you can go ahead and have a look on this. You don't have to read, or you don't have to just take all these things, but you can just have a look, like, I know what's this book about and what's about software quality. I'll be sending you through email. Okay. Okay, if no one have any questions, can we close this class for today? Okay, thank you guys.